I'm up. You already talked. Tell him that I'm going to introduce her. Do that quick.
Okay, hello, PJBT fans. Welcome to another Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour tournament. We are coming to you live from J Lanes in Douglasville, Pennsylvania. We are just about set for the stepladder finals. We will have player introductions momentarily. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, bowling fans, it is time to introduce our finalists for today's live streaming finals of the PJBT event number 4 here at J Lanes in Douglasville, Pennsylvania. Let's start with our scratch division. Our 5th seed for the stepladder today from Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, Austin Kerper.
Your 5th seed, Austin Kerper from Birdsboro.
We'll be taking on our 4th seed from Havertown, Pennsylvania, Jake Garcia.
Your 4th seed, Jake Garcia from Havertown.
The first match will advance to match number 2 to take on our number 3 seed and our winner from last week from Neptune, New Jersey, Joey Ocello.
Your 3rd seed from Neptune, New Jersey, Joey Ocello, last week's champ.
Take on our number 2 seed from Reading, Pennsylvania, Antonio Reyes.
Your number 2 seed, Antonio Reyes from Reading.
And the winner of that semifinal match will advance to take on our top seed from Annandale, New Jersey, with a score of plus 362 for 8 games, Zach Vitelli.
And your leader, Zach Vitelli from New Jersey.
For our top 5 finalists for the scratch division. All right, now it is time to introduce our handicap division, our 5th seed for today's stepladder. From Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Parker Loba.
In the handicap division, your 5th seed from Bethlehem, Parker Loba.
Number 4 seed in the first match from Royersford, Pennsylvania, Mason Doan.
Mason Doan, your 4th seed from Royersford.
The winner of that first match will advance to the second match to take on our number 3 seed from Saratoga, Pennsylvania, David Swavely. The winner of that second match will advance to the semifinal to take on our number 2 seed from Howell, New Jersey, Tommy Sanfilippo. And the winner of that semifinal match will advance to the title match to take on our number 1 seed from Hamilton, New Jersey, at plus 259 for 8 games, Ethan Matthews. Once again, bowling fans, those are your 5 finalists for the handicap division. Please give them a round of applause.
It's standalone. It's right where Lincoln Avenue comes in. It's a lot. That used to be Manila Lane. And we had a track where you had Lawrence Parkland, which was in Rochester, Westbrook Lane, Dickerson Lane. It used to be North Street Valero, which was the old Garris lanes with Pemberton Liberty. That was right on Mark Street, coming out of 69 coming to West Philly. Penn Rec, which was in Chester, Conchester Bowl, which is still there. In fact, the JBT Tourny from that combined. Trying to think of who the other houses were. It was like 12 or 14. Devin, I told you. There's a couple of guys that know I knew were getting along. Then there was Brookhaven, which was
trying to get the score
right outside of Chester. They had things called Brookhaven Lane. Okay. But yeah, we won the Suburban League Championship and I won high average. It was 190, but I was a sophomore. The last 2 weeks I bowled, I was technically out of school, but nobody knew because I missed school for a month of school. Take care.
All right, so I believe today's pattern.
I guess we'll bowl next week as long as you're still home.
Players for the first match are warming up. Joining me in the booth, our skip borderless booth today is Matthew.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Hello, everybody.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Talk again there, PA.
Can you hear me? Okay. Well, let's see what I have it set up. Now you should be able to hear me.
I do hear you now. Okay, there we
Okay.
go. Okay, so our first matches for the finals today, we have number 4 Jake Garcia from Havertown, PA, taking on Austin Kerper from Birdsboro, PA, on the scratch side. On your left, on your right will be number 4 seed Mason Doan from Royersford, PA, taking on number 5 seed Parker Walbach from Bethlehem, PA. There'll be a difference of 13, and I'm going to introduce the bowlers here in just a moment.
So this was just a regular PJBT event, 5 games of qualifying, 3 games of match play, and now we are at the stepladder. The winners today will both be receiving a $200 first place scholarship prize. So we are flying Skip Moyerless today. Skip couldn't make it. I don't know if his plane is delayed, whatever island he's on this week. His lovely and beautiful bride, Peaches, is working as far as I know. Brittany is in New York. So it is just Matthew and I flying solo today. The prodigy himself couldn't make it. He had a soccer game. They lost 2-0. For those of you that are inquiring. All right, and off we go. In game 1, we have Austin Kerper taking on Jake Garcia on the scratch side, and on the handicap side, we have Mason Doan taking on Parker Lobach. Looks like Parker will be up first. I will get you the handicap momentarily. What's the handicap, Matthew?
13.
Who is getting? Parker is getting 13 pins, and he starts out with a strike. And Austin on lane 3. He starts out with a strike as well. right, Jake started out with an open, and Mason went 9 spare strike. So he's clean through 2. Parker up on lane 2, on lane 6, his second frame.
Okay, I'm back in the booth. Looking good on the YouTube there. All right. Okay, just want to point out on the handicap side, Parker Laubach getting 13 pins handicap. From my understanding, it's going to add it in at the end. So he picks up his spare there. So both players with a clean board after frame 2. Garcia, after leaving a split in the first frame, picks up his spare.
Our live chat is back up after taking a week off last week, so if anyone wants to chime in, let us know what you see, what you think.
Parker Laubach leaves the 5-pin. He'll look to convert. And Kerper looking to make it a double. Ooh, he crosses over and leaves the 5-pin. Laubach covers his spare, keeps the board clean. Match number 1 of our 4-game stepladder for today's PJBT here at J Lanes in Douglasville, PA. Want to thank J Lanes Pro Shop for sponsoring today's event. Thanks to them, we are going to give out close to $1,000 in scholarships today. Mason Doan comes up a little bit high, leaving the 6, 9, 10 combination. And Kerper converts his spares, so he maintains an early lead on the scratch side. Kerper goes a little bit wide on his 3rd frame. Leaves the 2, 4, 5, 8. Laubach comes up a little bit light, leaving the 7-pin on lane 6. Laubach picks up his spare, and Garcia now up on lane 4, looking for his first strike of the match. Oh, he throws a great shot, but it goes... Ball drives the 5-pin straight back, and he leaves the 8-pin. So he will look to convert. He will trail by 8 pins. Laubach on lane 5 comes up a little bit high, trips out the 4-9, leaving just the 9-pin. Garcia looking to pick up his spare. For anybody paying attention to the scoreboard, lane 4 just fixed itself. We had a little bit of glitch there with the scoring, but we're back on track. So 8-pin lead for Kerper through 3 frames on the scratch side. On the handicap side, pretty even right now as far as scratch, so Parker with the advantage by 13 handicap pins at the moment. Doan throws a shot, comes up high, trips out the 4-9. Puts a double on the board.
Shania would like to know what cut was.
You can let, we'll tell the Shania and our fans out there that scratch cut was plus 261 after 8 games. And handicap was plus 178. If you would like to know after qualifying, the scratch division, it took plus 53 for 5 games to make the cut today. And we had a tie for the cut in handicap. It was minus 29. Minus 29 was the cut in handicap today. There's a good strike for Parker Laubach on lane 6. Parker needing to keep up the pace as while we were updating the cut scores, Mason Doan put 3 in a row on the board. Kerper, meanwhile, he gets a strike on lane 4. That'll extend his lead.
We've seen a lot of Parker lately here on
he has been
step-ladder
bowling
finals.
very well, yes. And he gets a double there to keep the pressure on Mason. From our live streaming scoreboard, you can see he has 97 in the 5th with a double. He also will get 13 pins handicap at the end of the match. So Mason trying to keep up the pace. He strikes on lane 6. Meanwhile, Kerper with a double on lane 3.
This is a really good handicap match. Now she would like to know what pattern. Was it Bourbon Street we bowled on today?
Today was the Bourbon Street pattern, yes. We bowled on Bourbon Street for today's recreational pattern. Mason Doan makes it 5 in a row with a strike there on lane 5. Garcia struggling to find the pocket, crosses over, leaving the 6 pin. He'll look to convert the spare. Still looking for his first strike of the match. Laubach comes in a little bit flat to the pocket and leaves the 5-7 split. Garcia picks up his spare. See if Parker can convert now for the 5-7. He gives it a go, but cannot convert the 7, so an open frame for Parker. That will put him at 153 in the 8th. He can max out at 213 with 13 pins handicap, 226. So 226 is his max score right now. Doan on pace for 256. Parker crosses over, leaving the 6 pin. Meanwhile, on the scratch side, Jake Garcia gets his first strike of the match on lane 3. You know, it's interesting, P.A., we don't have a sideline reporter today, but I do want to point out off to the side here that looks like Jake Garcia is getting some massaging on his arm. I think he's having a little bit of forearm pain from bowling today. His dad's working on it over here to the side, so that could have something to do with his bowling right now. As Austin Kerper comes in high, trips out the possible split, leaves the 6 pin. On the other side, Mason Doan leaves the 3, 6, 7, 10, and we have a problem. I'll be right back.
Yes. The gate came down while Mason was shooting his 3, 6, 7, 10. We will reset that and get his ball, and he will shoot that again. Meanwhile, Austin Kerber throwing plastic at his 6 pin, makes it with ease. Hello, Dylan.
What's the handicap?
13. Okay. Bowling fans, I believe I'm back. We got that problem squared away. They're taking care of resetting that up. That was an interesting one, PA.
Yes. Sometimes stuff like that just happens.
So Mason will get another go at it. Meanwhile, on the scratch side, Austin Kerper leaving the 6-9 combination in frame number 7. He converts his spare. And that will give him an 18-pin lead. Meanwhile, Mason goes for the spare, just misses the 7-pin. And that will put him at 190 for 9 frames. So let's summarize the handicap match here. Parker Laubach can strike out for 203. With his handicap, he'd be at 216. Mason can max out at 220, so we start the 10th frame.
Mason now opens the door.
He does by going a little bit wide there, leaving the 245. On the other side, Jake Garcia, 310 combination, not able to convert the spare. You'll have 103 in the 7th.
And he finds himself down by 40 at the moment.
Oh, and Mason misses his spare in the 10th frame. Key position there. That opens the door for Parker Laubach.
Parker will need a mark.
Mason with a strike. Jake Garcia with a strike. Laubach. Good shot, comes in a little bit high, leaving the 4-pin. He will need to convert the spare and put up a count for Parker to win the match. So yes. Spare and count.
Spare and 4.
Parker converts his spare.
4 pins is all he will need. Austin Kerper now up on the scratch side. He puts 10 back. Maintains his 40-pin lead with 2 frames to go.
Oh, and a pocket 810 for Parker Laubach, but 190 with his handicap 203. That will be enough for him to advance. So Parker Laubach advances to match number 2. Our 5th place finisher today in handicap will be Mason Doan.
Coming up in match 2 on the handicap side would be David Swavely. And on the scratch side, last week's winner, Joey Ocello.
Kerper picks up the spare. He will now just need a mark in the 10th frame, assuming that Garcia strikes out. Garcia pretty much needs to strike out here to have a chance in the match as he steps up on lane 4 in the 9th frame.
And that's the first one.
He gets the first. Set the computer game foul.
Oh, he actually did foul. All right, well, that is going to do it for match 1. Austin Kerper will be moving on to take on Joey Ocello.
Sorry about that false alarm there.
Hold on.
Sorry about that false alarm there. When I went down to Jake and asked him if he fouled, I didn't think he fouled because the foul light didn't go off, but he said he did. So Certainly don't want to make any excuses for the match on the scratch side, but I know for whatever reason, Jake bowled really good today and just started to have some pain, I think, in his arm before the title match started. So obviously is having an effect on him able to bowl out there. But again, a 5th place finish, not too shabby, and he will cash in today's tournament.
Yep.
Again, just for our bowling fans out there that are joining in now, our top seed today on the scratch division is Zach Vitelli, 2nd seed Antonio Reyes, and 3rd seed Joey Ocello. Joey will be stepping in to bowl Austin in match number 2. On the handicap side, it's Ethan Matthews, our tournament leader. Tommy Sanfilippo is 2nd. David Swavely is our 3rd seed, and David will be entering in match number 2 versus Parker Laubach, who just won his first match.
Are they on the table?
Okay, Austin Kerper going to go ahead and finish up. Jake Garcia putting 150 on the board. Kerper will shoot in the 200s with a spare here. So our second match in scratch once again will be Joey Ocello from Neptune, New Jersey, taking on Austin Kerper from Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, who wins the first match here. As you can see on your live scoring, it will be 202 for Kerper if he strikes out here on his fill ball. And he does strike, so final score 202 to 150 on the scratch side for match number 1. I'll be stepping away to give out the awards.
I didn't see any. The green one. Yeah. All right, Jake Garcia, your 5th place finisher today, $30 into his scholarship fund. Mason Doan, 5th place. Handicap division, $30 into his scholarship fund. All right. We will get set up for match number 2. So while we have a few moments, let's talk about upcoming events. For those of you adults or juniors that think you can compete with the adults, tomorrow is the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour first BuddiesProShop.com Adult Bowlers Tour event of the season. We are having 8 events this year. The first is tomorrow down at Leisure Lanes in Lancaster with a 10 a.m. special start time. The pattern was posted on the PJBT website. I believe it was posted on the Buddies Pro Shop Facebook site and the PJBT Facebook site. It is a newly created pattern, especially for that bowling center, created for us here at the PJBT. It is $60 to enter, $1,000. First place prize is a singles event. Once again, that is at Leisure Lanes. It starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Youth bowlers can bowl in that. They just have to sign the waiver. So any monies they win goes into their scholarship fund. Looking ahead for the PJBT next week, we as well are at Leisure Lanes for major number 2 of our season. It is probably going to be on the same bowling pattern that you'll see tomorrow. So if you want to get a little practice and get a leg up for tomorrow, feel free to come down, plop down your $60, and maybe you'll get a heads up on the pattern for next Sunday. The week after that, we will be up at Strike Zone in Pottsville. That's Sunday, September 24th for a regular PJBT. We will talk about what's coming up after that. We have a few special events after the next match. I'm breaking that because joining me in the booth momentarily is today's number 1 seed on the scratch side, who should be down in college right now.
I'm on Hurricane.
Yes, yes. What college did you go to?
Savannah College of Art and Design.
Isn't that where Mr. Glinsky is going?
Yes.
Yes.
We're on the same team this year.
short.
SCAD.
Yes, SCAD for short. Yes.
We're just fortunate to be here today.
They are closed due to the impending hurricane.
Yes, which looks like it's going west right now, so that's a lot of fun.
Yes. So how are you today, Mr. Vitelli? You're the number 1 seed.
I'm doing all right. I barely held on to it. Antonio put up a good fight going to that last game. It's pretty open in the 10th, and I made a spare for once.
What are you seeing out there? How have the lanes been transitioning?
They look pretty terrible. I've been throwing urethane since game 2, though, and just been getting left and throwing it pretty much as hard as I can. Just trying to keep as much of this blockage in the middle out of the way and trying to keep all the wishy-washy stuff away and just blending them out. And I think 215, 220 is going to win every match on 3 and 4.
Oh, out to Matt. All right, off we go to game 2. Scratch match, Joey Ocello against Austin Kerper. Handicap match, David Swavely against Parker Laubach.
Could be some good, I think, lower scores. I think they're going to pick up, but it's going to be around 2-0-2 teams again. Tough way to lose that last match, though.
Both of the lower seeds will be starting the match. Parker comes in light, leaves the 2, 4, 5.
Kerper sliding around 44 and just wheeling the lane. Look at that.
Parker makes his spare. Yes, this house is known to hook a little.
Oh, yeah. I could tell. I don't think I've ever been here before. I think today's my first day. Glad I came out. Going to be here in Limerick, or is it Lancaster tomorrow, too.
Mr. Vitelli putting up the $60 to bowl in the Buddy's Pro Shop.
Yeah, always. There's bowling and money involved. I'm going to be there. Speaking of which, I'm running a tournament down in Savannah. Going to do my little self-promotion right now. Savannah Masters. It is the weekend before Thanksgiving, so I think that is November 18th, that weekend. And I'm putting $5,000 on first place with a couple of sweepers, and I will have youth waivers there. So if you guys want to come to Savannah, go to Hilton Head, spend your Thanksgiving in the South, come feel free.
Say something, Matthew.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Hey, Matthew's back. Can you hear him?
There's an echo. I hear him talking still. He's not talking.
I don't.
Okay, back in the booth. Hello, gentlemen.
How's it going?
Okay, we've begun match number 2. Laubach comes up light, leaving the 5-7.
It's like a good shot from Joey. Owen gets that 9 out.
Good shot.
How long was this pattern today? 40 feet?
That's a good question. Matthew's going to find out.
All right. R&D department.
Parker up, frame number 3. He goes 10 back for a double.
40 feet on Bourbon Street. I do like the transition this year with everything being on some sort of pattern and not just the house shot.
Okay, up on lane 6, David Swavely. Comes up a little bit high, leaving the 4-7. Kerper looking to make it 3 in a row, and he does.
Gets that 10 out. He's been doing that all day. 6 going around that 10 and bouncing against the wall.
What did you see out there today, Zach, as the tournament leader coming up?
I saw a lot of scores up and down for pretty much everybody, but with this pattern specifically, everyone who tried to play inside to start, except for Austin, it was really tough. I tried playing deep inside, and I shot 160 the first game. I decided to go to urethane, and I moved right and I shot 260 after that. But it was a lot of, it's very, very toasty in the center, and there's a little bit of hold if you get it right, but you can't get it right too early. Otherwise, it's either going to overreact or hydroplane. But it was a very good choice of pattern with the lane surface here.
Mm-hmm.
As always, spares and execution, the name of the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, the scores once again today were, we had some real good scores. I mean, Austin Kerper bowling right now had a high game of the day so far with a 297. He had 297 during qualifying, so we certainly had some good scores today, but again, the scores stayed in check.
They weren't, I like the choice of patterns you guys are going with a lot of the Kegel navigation patterns. They're not too easy. They still encourage people to come out here, and they're not too difficult where they're going to deter people away. And they're just the right amount of challenge where you're going to have people who always have a shot, and you're going to have people who are always going to be up there where they're going to just it's a good blend.
Well, it's one of those things where we didn't want to eliminate the term house shot. But in the reality of things, one of the things we looked at last year is we noticed that on a lot of the house shot tournaments, we did not get as many scratch bowlers because of the feeling that the pattern would play too easy and the scores would be too high. Now, obviously, when we put out a tougher sport pattern, then the handicap bowlers were at a disadvantage a little bit too, for the reason of it was very hard for them. So we've been trying to come up with a way to balance that, and that's why we felt going to these recreational patterns, as they call them, for our house shot tournaments, quote unquote, they're still easy patterns, but they make you think a little bit.
That's what I like a lot, is you're just deferring people away from standing left and throwing it right and watching everything wheel back, whereas you got to do a little bit of thinking. You're right. Ooh,
yeah.
Close try.
I mean, most of these patterns still do have area on the lanes, so there's no doubt that you're going to, as you were saying, you see some, but it obviously, as you said, if you throw it too hard, too soft, It could hydroplane. It could stay right. So there's a lot of bowlers like to use the term. There's a little bit of out of bounds. There's not a lot, but there's a little bit. So it at least keeps the bowler in check as far as making good shots. But Austin Kerper seems to have it figured out right now. Up on lane 3, he is spare and 3 in a row, looking to make it 4.
That's Joey. He went first 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I apologize.
No worries. But it's everything. It's good though, because I like the fact that numbers go up and down though. It's good. It's what it's meant to be. It's supposed to be making spares. If you have a bad shot, you're not supposed to always strike on a bad shot. You can, which is good. I think this is what you've done here is a very good choice of pattern. But for me, I'm going to go start loosening up because I got a match in a game and a half.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us.
So thank you.
Parker Laubach comes a little bit light as we get back to the action, leaving a 2-8. Right now, as you can see on the scoreboard, Swavely, scratch-wise, a little bit ahead, but Parker gets the pins, so that match is about even on the handicap side. Another strike there for Joey Acello. Let me update the board again, as I read it incorrectly earlier. We have 4 in a row, spare and 4 in a row for Joey Acello. Meanwhile, Austin Kerper's only missed once also. He has 3 in a row with the split in the 4th and a strike in the 5th. So we still have some close matches here halfway through the second game. Laubach didn't like that shot on lane 5, but got the result he was looking for as the ball crossed over for a strike.
What is the handicap in this match?
14 pins, 14 going to Parker Laubach. The system's kind of interesting. It adds it in at the end. So it doesn't show it on your screens at home right now, but you'll see it at the end when it adds it in. Acello for 5 in a row on lane 3. And David Swavely crosses up high, goes through the face, leaving the 10-pin. He'll look to convert that spare and maintain his lead. It's spare for David Swavely. Now Kerper looking to keep pace. He puts a double on the board. So we have a match for the ages on the scratch side as Joey Acello can still max out for 290. Austin Kerper for 262 with just 1 miss so far as we are 6 frames in. Swavely looking for another strike. And,
wow.
He mixes it, and the pin is out of range. So we'll set up a 4-pin for him on lane 5 there, as clearly the rack took it down. Oh, and Kerper makes a great shot on lane 3, but comes up just a little high flush and leaves the 9-pin. Our lane man is going to head down there once again on 5 and 6 and take care of setting up the 9-pin. Or the 4-pin, rather. Want to remind our PJBT fans out there, don't forget next Sunday is our second major of the season. Next Sunday we will be at Leisure Lanes in Lancaster. Very important announcement about Leisure next week. It is on the website properly, but when we mailed out the schedules, it did have the wrong start time. It said 12 noon. We are not starting at 12 noon next week. We are starting at the normal 10:30 start time. So 10:30 next Sunday for the major.
Is it possible, Matthew, that those that may bowl tomorrow in the Buddies tournament might see the same pattern the week after? Is that a possibility?
It's a possibility. Good shot there by Joey Acello. I will say that tomorrow we have the Buddies Pro Shop Adult Bowlers Tour first tournament of the season. 10 a.m. tomorrow at Leisure Lanes. And yes, they will be bowling on a unique pattern that was created for the center. So $60 entry fee. Walk-ins are accepted for the adult tournament tomorrow at Leisure, and guaranteed top prize of $1,000. Laubach comes up a little bit high, leaving the 3-6-10. He will trail that match by a couple of pins if he converts his spare. Meanwhile, Joey Acello trying to step on the throat of Austin Kerper. 8th frame. He does. He puts 7 in a row on the board for Joey. Laubach was not able to convert his spare, so he puts 129 up in the 8th frame. He follows us up with a strike in the 9th, so try to keep some pressure on David. Closing in on the end of match number 2. Swavely on lane 6 with a strike. He will now start the 10th frame with a max score of 219 possibility. Ooh, Austin Kerper crosses over. Fortunately for him, just leaving the 9 pin. Not one of his best shots there. Looked like it got it inside a target right from the start, and the ball certainly grabbed, but he'll try to convert the spare. Now Swavely, first shot in the 10th. Oh, he comes up high, leaving the 4, 6, 7, and 10, which will open the door for Parker. Count will be important here for Swavely as Parker gets the 14 pins handicap. Swavely gets the 2, and he will finish the game with 185. Still has an opportunity to win the match, but cannot shut him out.
Parker's going to need the first strike in the 10th.
For my Sharpie.
Parker up quick, and he gets it. So Parker just needs a few pins here, and he will be once again the beneficiary of an open in the 10th frame, which will move him into the semifinal match. On the scratch side, Joey Ocello just keeps on striking. With a couple more strikes, he'll go off the sheet for 290.
Okay, Laubach up for the spare. He will convert, and that will give him enough to advance to match number 2, as he has 191 to 185. Parker Laubach walks through the door, opened by Swavely. Swavely will be our 4th place finisher today in the scratch or the handicap side.
All right, and Joey just needs a couple pins here in the 10th to shut out Austin and move on to the semifinal match to bowl Antonio Reyes.
With that strike, Joey Ocello wraps up the match, and he will advance to the semifinal. Okay. First ball in the 10th, just give him a strike. 3. Hand me that card. One more strike for Joey Acello. Oh, he comes up a little bit high, but he will shoot 266. Nice game for Joey Acello, advancing to the semifinal. Okay, we'll let Kerper finish up, and then while we'll be giving out the awards for game number 2, we'll move on to the semifinals.
All right, the final score, Joey Acello, 266. Austin Kerper, 206. That takes care of round number 2. We'll give out some awards for the 4th place finishers, and then we will have the number 2 seeds warm up, and we will be off and running in the semifinals. You are watching continuous coverage of the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour, coming to you live from J Lanes in Douglasville, Pennsylvania. Austin Kerper, $50 into his scholarship fund for his 4th place finish.
And our 4th place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $40 scholarship, giving it a 4th place award goes to David Swavely.
David Swavely, $50 for his 4th place finish in the handicap division. All right, now we are on to the semifinals. So as the bowlers warm up, we'll continue on with our upcoming events. All right, coming up on Saturday, the 30th of September, the very first time ever the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour will be having a girls-only tournament. That is Saturday, September 30th. That is at ABC West Lanes in Mechanicsburg with a 2:30 start time. 2 divisions, scratch and handicap, open to all girl bowlers, 21 years of age and under as of August the 1st of 2017. We hope to see lots of girls there that day. We will be having a couple other girls tournaments later on in the season, one in December, and then one later on in May. And if all goes well, we'll certainly have plenty more of them in the coming years. Then, on the day after, Sunday, October the 1st, is our first adult junior tournament of the season. That is up at one of our favorite centers, Chaco's in Wilkes-Barre. That will have a 10:30 start time. Then the week after, the PJBT has a week off, but Danny Wiseman has his annual Youth Scholarship Tournament that is presented by Charis Contractors. The tournament is at AMF Country Club Lanes in Baltimore, Maryland. 3 squad times, Saturday, October the 7th, 9 a.m., 1:30, and 6. The finals beginning at 9 a.m. Sunday, October the 8th. Top 32 in each division make it to day 2. You definitely would like to reserve a spot if you are interested in this tournament. You can sign up for this tournament one place and one place only on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour website at pjbtbowlingseries.com. Like I said, this would be a tournament that you definitely want to reserve your spot. It will sell out. It does every year. Entry fee is $60 per squad, and if you do decide to bowl all 3 squads, you get a little bit of a price break, $150 to bowl all 3 squads. On the mat.
Okay, bowling fans, time to introduce our semifinalists. On the track side, number 2 seed Antonio Reyes taking on number 3 seed Joey Costello. Antonio has elected to start the match on lane 3. On the handicap side, the number 2 seed Tommy Sanfilippo taking on number 5 seed Parker Lawbach. Parker will be getting the handicap with 16 pins. That's the difference. And Tommy has elected to have Parker start the match on lane 5. Bowling fans, let's give a nice hand for our semifinalists for today's tournament.
All right, off to the semifinals we go. Looks like Antonio will be starting and Parker will be starting on the handicap side. Matt gets back. We will get you what the handicap is. Antonio up quickly. He gets the messenger to come across, but misses the 10 pin. And Matthew's back. Oh, what's the handicap, Matt? 16? 16 is the handicap. Parker comes in high. He leaves the 4, 6, 7, 9. Antonio makes his 10 pin.
Okay, as we begin the semifinals, had a couple of open frames there, but Joey Acello starts with a strike. Reyes actually fouled on his spare shot, so he had an open frame. And on the handicap side, Parker Lawbach opened with a split, but Tommy did the same as he goes to convert the 6, 7, 9. He will fill it up with a 9 count.
Once again, our message board is live and operational for those of you joining us on YouTube. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them.
Also, bowling fans, make sure you tell your friends out there that we are live streaming the finals of today's PJBT at Jay Lanes. Jump online and watch as we start the semifinal matches here. Double for Joey Acello and a strike for Tommy Sanfilippo. Reyes comes up a little bit light as the ball hydroplaned there a little bit, leaving the 2, 4, 5. He'll look to convert. On lane 6, Parker Lawbach, leaving the 6 pin. Reyes converts the spare. And Laubach also covers his spare. Again, Parker getting 16 pins handicap in this match. You on your live stream scoring monitors, you won't see that right away. It adds it in at the end. Reyes comes up high on the left lane. 3, 4, 6, and 7. Laubach's shot on lane 5 hits a little light, leaving the 5 pin. He'll look to convert the spare. Certainly early in the match, but Reyes not able to convert, and he now puts up 2 opens in the first 3 frames. He has 33 in the third. Parker covers his spare. Oh, this time Sanfilippo comes up a little bit high, leaving the 6-7 split.
And Joey leaves the week 10. He'll look to convert this. And Tommy gives a great run at that split. And Joey converts his 10 pin. Has a 36 pin lead. Tommy leaves the 10 pin and converts. Joey with another strike. Better shot there for Antonio. Comes in a little high, leaves just the 4 pin.
For our bowling fans out there, hopefully you didn't lose your signal there for a second. I think we got it all squared away. Reyes flags the spare, and he will have 42 in the 4th frame. Meanwhile, Parker Laubach covers his spare on lane 6. Ooh, that time he lofted it down the lane and gets a strike. Has the very unconventional no fingers in the ball for the Jason Belmonte way of bowling.
Yes,
that's what I'm trying to say. He's able to loft it over the heads there on that last shot to get a strike. See if that can help him to get back on track. Certainly. Ocello early in the match not giving him a chance. Laubach with another spare. Oh, this time Ocello inside a target Fortunate enough to leave just the 4-pin. Now Tommy Sanfilippo on 6. And he gets his second strike of the match. Parker with his handicap maintaining a very small lead. Halfway through the semifinal match, Cello converts his spare. And a strike for Sanfilippo, puts up a double. Now Joey Acello up on lane 3. And he puts 10 back.
He just cruises right along.
Looks very lined up today on the championship pair. 2-4-5 combination for Parker Laubach on lane 6. He'll look to convert the spare. Meanwhile, Reyes
showing a little frustration.
I certainly can understand it on that shot because that looked like a pretty good one. But he came up high, high flush, could have easily struck, but he leaves the 9-pin. And he'll find himself trailing by over 50 pins. Oh. Laubach didn't like that one. Laubach converts his spare. He has 100 in the 6th with a spare. Now Reyes looking to get back on track. Throws a great shot there on lane 3. Finds himself now trailing by 27. Now Sanfilippo for 3 in a row. Comes up a little bit high. Looked like he was glad he just left the 4-pin there as he kind of gave the reaction that he tugged the ball a little bit. Took it inside a target. He'll look to convert the spare. Sanfilippo covers his spare. And it is a 10-pin match on the handicap side as Parker Laubach has a 10-pin lead through 7 frames. Cello breaks through the heart there, leaving just the 6-pin. Probably feels fortunate. That's the 3rd straight shot on the right lane for him where he did not strike, so he'll probably need to make an adjustment there.
Yes, definitely seeing some transition.
Want to point out Joey Acello wearing his Apparel EFX shirt today. He will win a bonus from Apparel EFX if he wins today's tournament. Picks up the spare.
How much bonus does he get if he wins?
He actually wins a $20 off his next order with them. And want to point out to our bowling fans while I'm on that subject that I did not get to post it on Facebook yet. I'll probably post it early next week. But if you go to apparelefx.com, we officially have the new PJBT shirts done by Apparel EFX. They have 5 different designs, 5 colors in each design, so a total of 25 different options for you to pick from. You can order online or you can see our representative Brian Krantz on site at any of our tournaments. He's hoping to have some shirts in next week. My understanding he's going to have bowling shirts, collared bowling shirts like we're used to wearing, and he'll also have T-shirts for fans and parents to purchase. So make sure you check out his table anytime you come out to the PJBT.
I will say I was looking at those shirts last night online. They're very sharp.
Yes, very sharp designs. Took some of their hottest designs and took all of our sponsors and PJBT logo and made them into the new shirts. So hope our fans out there like them. And don't forget, every order that you place, a donation is made to our scholarship fund for the events during the year. So make sure that you go online. They make a great gift. Parents, if you're thinking about, I know it's hard to think about Christmas yet, but if you need an early Christmas gift or a birthday gift, they would be very sharp. Okay, back to the action. On the handicap side, we have entered the 9th frame. Sanfilippo can max out at 194. Right now, Parker Laubach can only max out at 176 with his handicap, would put him at 192. So we have a 2-pin match as we are in the 9th frame. Sanfilippo comes up high, leaving the 6-10. Another split for Antonio Reyes, and unfortunately, a frustrating finish to his day, as Joey Ocello will advance to take on Zach Vitelli for the title today in the scratch side. Joey will be looking to make it 2 weeks in a row. Now Sanfilippo looking for his spare. And he unfortunately flags it to the left. Back-to-back opens for Sanfilippo, opening the door once again for Laubach. Joey with his first open of the match, as he comes up and chops the 3-6-9-10. But Joey clearly has the match wrapped up, as he has 175 in the 9th. He'll max out at 205. Antonio Reyes can only shoot 168. So Ocello will advance to the title match. On the handicap side, 6'10" spare for Tommy Sanfilippo. This time he converts the spare. Well, you know, PA, sometimes bowling is a lot about skill, but it's also about luck. And I want to point out that in both matches, the second and the semifinal match here, Parker Laubach's opponents were ahead during the match, and late in the match gave him an opportunity to walk through the door and take the match, and it looks like that's what Laubach will be able to do, as Sanfilippo posts a scratch score of 160, and he will be our third place finisher on the handicap side.
In actuality, that happened all 3 matches. The first match, what was the young man's name?
Mason Doan.
Yes, he opened in the 10th. All right, so Parker will be moving on into the finals with a 167 to 160 victory. And Joey Ocello will be moving on to the finals on the scratch side with a 195 to 158 victory over Antonio Reyes. All right, we will present awards for the third place finishers, and then we will get all ready for the finals. You are watching the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour coming to you live from Jay Lanes in Douglasville, Pennsylvania. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Finals up next.
Okay, bowling fans, time to present our awards for the semifinalists. Finishing in third in the scratch division, getting a $75 scholarship. Moving in third place award goes to
Antonio Reyes, $75 into his scholarship fund for his third place finish.
And our third place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $50 scholarship. Moving in third place award goes to Tommy Sanfilippo.
And Tommy Sanfilippo,
Okay, onward, final match.
third place in handicap. All right, let's get ready for the finals. Zach Vitelli coming in. He will be bowling Joey Ocello. Both bowlers are from the great state of New Jersey. And Ethan Matthews, also from New Jersey, going up against Parker Lobach, trying to climb the ladder. All right, and off we go into the finals. Looks like number 3 seed Joey Osella will be starting the match. Number 1 seed Ethan Matthews will be starting the match on the handicap side. Ethan is giving Parker 31 pins in this game. Ethan up first. And the messenger takes out the 10 pin. Good start there by Ethan. He throws a really good ball. See what Joey could do. Looks like he may be throwing a different ball. Same result. Parker now up. Lane number 6. He strikes as well.
Okay, we are off and running with the title matches. On the handicap side, both bowlers start with a strike. First shot for Zach Vitelli. Oh, he comes up light and gets a messenger there on the 2 pin. Starts with a strike. Joey, did you strike? Yeah? Yeah, give him a strike. Okay, Parker picks up his spare. Zach Vitelli comes up a little bit high, leaving the 4 pin. Just put it in. Matthews comes up a little bit high on lane 6, leaving the 4-9. Telly flags the spare to the right, not what he was looking to do. 28 in the second frame. Matthews leaves the 10 pin. Now Ocello looking to put up an early double. He's been struggling on that right lane. Crosses up, leaving the 3 pin. See if he can put up a spare.
And lane 5 fixed itself.
It's very interesting scoring, let me tell you. Matthews picks up the spare.
I think it might be a smart move by Zach Vitelli having Joey finish the match on lane 4.
I'm sure that came into his thinking when he started the match, because it's very clear that Ocello's been bowling great all day on this championship pair, but he seems to have lost that right lane, so you do want to force him to finish on that right lane. Meanwhile, Parker Laubach with a strike on lane 6. Parker looking to walk the ladder in the handicap side, coming from the 5th seed position. Parker near the top of the leaderboard on the handicap side all day today. Kind of slipped back a little during match play, but has really turned it on again here in the finals.
The way Joey's mother, Mary, is checking in, she says good luck to her son, Joey.
We're happy to be able to bring the action to you live from your phone or devices, as we are in the title match here of PJBT number 4 of the season at J Lanes, Douglasville, PA. This time Joey comes up high, leaving the 3-6-10. He'll look to spare it up and keep the board clean. Meanwhile, Parker Laubach covers his spare. Oh, and Joey chops the spare, so he will put 45 up on the board in the third frame. That'll open the door a little bit for Zach, as Zach had an early open, so now that match is back to close to even. Meanwhile, Matthews, lane 6, with a great shot. Strikes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but 3 of our 4 finalists are invaders from the state of New Jersey.
That is correct. Our only Pennsylvania bowler remaining is Parker Laubach. 3 New Jersey bowlers today in the finals of 4. Meanwhile, Vitelli with a good shot. Got good ball reaction there. Looked like it was going to almost come up a little bit high, but it went through the pocket, tripped out the 4 for his second strike of the match. And there's a double for Ethan Matthews.
I think we're going to be seeing Ethan in the scratch division very soon.
The message board is showing that some people are excited to see 3 New Jersey bowlers in the finals today. Laubach comes up a little bit high, leaving the 4-pin. Important part for Laubach is to keep the board clean. Okay, now Vitelli looking for a double, and he gets it.
Pull up, Joey. Vitelli struck on lane 3. Great shot there by Ethan. Gets unlucky stoning a 9 after we watched Parker. Not quite sure what he did. I was looking at a scoring malfunction, but it looked like there's about 6 or 7 pins left on the deck. Have to go back and watch that later on the replay.
Ooh, Acello with the crossover strike. Double on the board for him. Matthews makes his spare, but right now Parker Laubach has a scratch lead on Ethan Matthews, and he's getting 31 pins. And that time Ethan Matthews let that one go wide. Almost 2-8-10 to kick out the 2 and leaving the 8-10. An almost impossible spare. Vitelli with a strike. That's 3 in a row for Zach.
He is throwing urethane. I think Joey, his last couple of shots on the left lane now went high. I think he's going to have to be moving a zone at least, not a board or 2, a zone. There's a double there by Parker. Matthews going to clear some dead wood. And another strike by Vitelli. That's 4 in a row. He takes a 13-pin lead. And the best part is, that's on the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you right now, if we do a highlight reel at year end, that will be on it. Let's see if he could do it again. Hey! And looks like Joey made that move.
I hope some of our fans out there can relate to this. But if they watch College Game Day in the morning, that was a you had one job, man. You had one job, and I messed it up. Sorry about that.
If we do a highlight reel for the end of this season, I'll guarantee you that makes the cut.
Wow. All right, back to the action. Laubach looking for 3 in a row, and he gets it. Parker really stepping on the pedal here now in the title match. He can max out for 249 scratch. Joey Usello puts up 4 in a row as the strike trains have begun on the scratch side. Right now, Joey Usello can max out at 255, while his opponent, Zach Vitelli, can max out at 268. So we have quite a match on the scratch side. Meanwhile, Ethan Matthews comes up high, leaving the 3-pin. And right now, Laubach leading the match on handicap side by scratch score. Parker getting 31 pins handicap. Vitelli, a little high flush, leaving the 10-pin. That ball didn't look bad off his hand, but it looked like he started it inside a target.
Yes.
And because in the front part of the lane, so he didn't get as much ball reaction on the back end, hence leaving the 10-pin. Telly covers the spare. Excited about bouncing it out there.
Well, that and probably I know Zach sometimes has an issue making the 10-pin, so I'm sure he was happy to make that.
Matthews inside a target there, crossing over, leaving the 6-pin. Parker hasn't won yet this year, correct? If I recall? I do not believe so. No. He did win last year.
Yes. And Vitelli covers his spare, but leaves the door open for Joey. Let's see if Joey could walk right through it and take the lead in the match.
Parker Laubach continues to keep the board clean and lock up his first title of this season. He will complete the task of walking the ladder from the 5th position.
And he did what he had to do, made spares.
Good shot there, leaving the 7-pin. Joey Usello with a great shot there as he saws off the rack. The key for Joey Usello right now, if he misses on a shot, either here in the 9th or the 1st and the 10th, both bowlers are basically about even. But Joey can strike out and shut out Zach Vitelli. Laubach trips the 4-7, finishes with 215, with his handicap will be 246. 246, and he will take home the title.
All right, so we turn our attention to the scratch match. They are in the foundation frame 9.
Cello looking for 6 in a row, and he gets it.
Little emotion there.
A little emotion, absolutely. Keeps the pressure on Vitelli. Vitelli really needs to strike out here to give himself a chance. So the handicap match comes to an end. It'll be a 246 to 168 victory for Parker Laubach of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, is your handicap winner for today. Telly with a good strike there in the 9th.
He could still go out for 235. If he strikes out, he would force Joey to get the first one in the 10th.
Okay, here we go. First ball of the 10th frame. Looked a little bit inside a target, and you could see it from the ball reaction as the ball didn't drive through the hole. Trips out the 5, but leaves the 7-pin. That's gonna make it almost virtually impossible for Joey to lose, as Joey can strike out for 250. Even with an open frame, he will be in the 220s. Vitelli will only shoot 215 max. So I believe Joey will just have to step up in the 10th frame and keep the ball in the lane, and he will have back-to-back titles and be our first 2-time winner of season 19.
And he would flat out admit, up until last week, he doesn't really bowl good in the state of Pennsylvania. He lights him up in New Jersey, but in Pennsylvania, not so much. I think that curse is now over.
It certainly looks that way, as Vitelli goes 9 spare 8. He will finish with 213. 9 spare 8. All right, so now Joey Acello just keeping the ball in the lane. He will get his 2nd title of the year. And he strikes. And ladies and gentlemen, he is our first 2-time winner of season 19. Joey Acello, your champion today in the scratch division.
Maybe we should turn around and look at Dad and say, why don't you get a hotel room and bowl in the Buddy's Pro Shop? Leisure Lanes, where you'll be next week for the major. Cool $1,000 to win tomorrow. $60 entry fee. All right.
A great game for Joey Acello. 254. Takes home the title, 254 to 213. And it is time to give out some hardware. We'll be right back with interviews. You're watching live coverage of PJBT number 4 from Jay Lanes in Douglasville, PA.
All right, on the map for award presentations.
Okay, bowling fans, time to give out our final awards for today. Finishing runner-up in the scratch division, getting a $100 scholarship, certificate, and runner-up plaque goes to Zach Vitelli.
Zach Vitelli, second place finish, $100 into his scholarship fund.
Our runner-up finisher in the handicap division, getting a $100 scholarship certificate, and award goes to Ethan Matthews.
Ethan Matthews, $100 for his second place finish today in the handicap division.
All right, it's now time to crown our champions in the scratch division. Making it 2 weeks in a row, and our first two-time winner of the season, getting a $200 scholarship certificate and first place plaque goes to Joey Ocello.
Joey Ocello, back-to-back champion, $200 into his scholarship fund.
And our winner in the handicap division, his first title of the season, $200 scholarship certificate and first place plaque goes to Parker Lobach.
Parker Lobach. First place handicap division, $200. All right, I will reposition the cameras and then we will be back to interview the winners. Stay with us.
Don't forget, tomorrow is the Buddy's Pro Shop Golf Awards for best $1,000 place at Leisure Lake. That starts at 10 a.m. And then next Sunday, the PJBT will pick up again at Leisure Lake in Lancaster for our second major of the season. All right, have a great evening. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back for interview. All right.
Use your phone. Because if I use my phone, I'm not going to be able to sit.
All right, we'll get Parker to come back first. Handicap division champion for today. All right, we are here with Parker. Say your last name correctly.
Lawbach.
Lawbach. You're a handicap division champion. You want to wave at mom and dad over there? They're going to be filming this
Yeah, I know.
and taking a lot of pictures. Parker, you climbed the ladder from 5th all the way up to 1st. The first 3 matches, you were behind late.
Yeah.
And your opponents opened, but you were the model of consistency in these 4 matches.
Yeah.
I could probably count the number of opens you had probably on one hand, those 4 matches.
Yeah, a lot.
Tell us about your climb up the ladder.
Well, the first 3 games, I started to struggle a little bit, and then when it got into the game 3, I started to move left 3 boards and then throw the ball out. So that's when I got used to sparing and striking. That's how I won the tournament.
How many championships is this for you now?
This is the second.
Second. I know you just started around March of last season.
Yeah, 8 months ago.
And you're already a 2-time champion.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
14.
And you're in what grade?
9th.
9th grade. Where do you go to school?
Liberty High School.
Do they have a bowling team?
They had a bowling club, but
Okay.
now I guess they don't do it.
Well, now that you're in 9th grade,
Yeah.
come the bowling season this winter, you can bowl in a special tournament to try to make it to the Pennsylvania State Championships.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to look out for that. We'll certainly have flyers for that later in the season. So you want to
Okay.
give a shout out to anybody?
Just a shout out to my mom and dad. That's pretty much it.
Okay. What equipment were you throwing today?
I threw the High Road Pearl.
All day?
Yeah, all day.
All right. Anything else you want to say right into that camera?
No.
Go Liberty.
Yeah. Go Liberty.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a nice hand for Parker Lobach. Did I say that right?
Lawbach.
Same thing. You're a handicap division champion. No one's really clapping for you.
I know.
Your parents aren't even clapping for you. Come on, Dad, clap for him. There we go.
Yeah.
Congratulations, my
Thank you.
friend. All right, now let's bring your two-time champion back to back, Jack. Joey. It's like deja vu. We just did this 6 days ago.
We did.
We did. I want to show you something on this message board here. People are now telling you to stay in New Jersey. You know, it used to be, this may not be the most politically correct thing to say, but, well, I'm me. You used to come to the state of Pennsylvania, it was like, well, all right, Joey's here thanks to the donation.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden you broke the curse last week, and now you did it back to back. How does it feel to be the first two-time champion?
Feels really good. I mean, it means a lot, really does. It's unbelievable to win back-to-back like that.
Tell me about your day.
My day, I mean, I started off with the shiny no rules, and I kind of migrated left, went to a weaker ball. Some of that shape a little better. And a few games I just tried to grind it out, make spares, match play, just get some wins, and got me there and made good shots on the ladder.
So tell me about the championship match. Well, first in the semifinals against Antonio, you definitely lost your look on lane 4.
Definitely, yeah.
And then in the championship match, you started to lose your look on lane 3 as well. You went high a couple straight frames. Tell me what kind of move you did. I was back here saying not only did you have to move a couple boards, it looked like you had to move a good zone.
Yeah, definitely. I tried to migrate more to where the oil was. Did some adjustments to my hand, my eyes, up and down the lane. Just kind of get to stop reading so early in the fronts. Kind of do what you're supposed to do in the back.
Want to give a shout out to anybody?
My parents, especially my mom back at home, always supporting me. My
Yes,
dad driving me.
Your mom did chime in on our message board saying that she was watching. Yes, and definitely want to thank your dad. He puts in a lot of time driving you here just about every week anymore from the state of New Jersey.
Definitely. I really appreciate it. I mean, I don't show it often enough, but I do. Thank you.
Good. You think we're going to see you in the Buddies tournament tomorrow, going up against the adults?
Possibly. Depends on that guy over there.
So last week you emailed or texted or whatever the Prodigy saying you really didn't want a bowl, and you came and you won. Now, I know you messaged him today, and you said to him, you asked for the characteristics of Jay Lanes, and basically what did he tell you? It hooked.
Yeah, that's about it. So, I mean, it does hook a lot here. I kind of took that into consideration when I got here. I try to stay as far left as I can.
What ball were you throwing right at the end there?
A green mamba, AMF green mamba.
An AMF ball? Wow.
I have 3 AMF green mambas.
I guess you like it.
Ted.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, or who's ever still here, our Scratch Division champion for the second week in a row. He is, I don't know, what do I say? I forget what I call you now.
Man, myth, legend?
I don't know, something like that.
Something like that every now and
then.
then.
By the way, the PA Fats pattern is just about ready. I expect you to try it. I want you to lay it down at your center and try it out. Let me know the characteristics.
All right, send me when it's ready.
Because you will see that somewhere along the line this season.
PA Fats tournament?
Yes, the PA Fats is having his own oil pattern very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Scratch Division champion, $200. Richard, I think I'm the only one clapping. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Joey Ocello, congratulations, man.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, let's see here. I don't know if we're going to get Matt back in. He's packing it up over there. So I will do the wrap-up show by myself, I guess, unless if we see Matt. By the way, the pattern today. Whoops, I lost my picture. The pattern today was Bourbon Street. We will put that up probably on our Facebook site at some point. Once again, we have the Buddies Pro Shop Adult Tour tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Leisure Lanes on our own special created pattern. Thank you to Kegel for creating them. $60 is your entry fee. $1,000 is your first place prize, guaranteed tomorrow. And our next PJBT is major number 2 from Leisure Lanes next Sunday, the 17th, at a special start time, the regular start time, of 10:30. We hope to see you at one, if not both of those tournaments. All right, for the whole PJBT crew, for Skip and Stacy, who couldn't make it today, for Brittany, couldn't make it today, for Travis, for Jen, for Matthew over there packing up, I'm PA Fats, real name Jason. We will see you next Sunday. There's a chance I might live stream tomorrow for the adult tournament. You never know. Nevertheless, we will see you next Sunday from Leisure Lanes in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Thank you and good night.